You shared that Peter Gabriel was a huge influence on your music and your career. Have you guys ever worked together?
I haven't. Well, we did a little thing for, like, he was sort of putting together, his music was on it too, but I'm not quite sure his role, but he was definitely, like, maybe producing the soundtrack for Denzel Washington movie way back in the day. And so we sort of got close to working together, but not really. But I'd love to do something actually creative with him. I've known him for years off and on, and I'd love to, yeah.
What's your favorite Peter Gabriel song?
Oh my gosh, probably In Your Eyes overall, just because it's just an amazing song. But all of his work is just insanely good.
Yeah, he's incredible. That's my favorite all time as well. So your new album, The Flood and the Mercy, just released, right?
Yeah, it's been coming out in various states, times all over the world. We had the initial release was Europe, and then came out after that in Australia, New Zealand, and then about 3 weeks ago in the States, 4 weeks ago.
And you put out an EP, Garden. Was that a precursor to this or something entirely different?
It was supposed to be, and then I wrote a bunch more songs, so just made The Flood and the Mercy its own album. That came out late last year, and it's 5 songs, 1 cover, 4 original of mine, and then 1 cover. I did a John Lennon song called Mind Games on there, and then there's 5 remixes of all those songs. So it's 10 tracks, but 5 songs.
So who plays a lot of guitar on this album?
On this album, it's really just like everybody. I mean, I play, Jamie Candelora, my producer, played. We had James Gabby, my guitar player, on the first solo album, played. So it's kind of
Was Peter Buck?
And Peter, of course, Peter Buck. Yeah, Peter.
That's where I was going for.
Okay, yes, the cherry on top. Yeah, Peter played on it. The very end, we came here actually to Portland and hung out for a couple of days at Scott McCoy's studio, and Peter played on 9 songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been really exciting.
It was awesome.
So, without, any spoilers, what can folks expect on this tour for I Alone?
I Alone? Well, of course, this it's a throat song of mine, I Alone and live. But sometimes it's me. It's actually I Alone plus 1 a lot. It's my bass player, Chris Herline, but it's in Portland. And for this particular tour, it's just been true to the name. So it's just been I Alone.
Well, it's funny. I knew that, but I walked in. I'm like, no kidding. It is going to be him alone. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited. And I heard some of your warm-up stuff, and so I recognized some of those tunes. I'm very excited.
Well, I play, for about an hour and 45 minutes usually, and I do try to get to, just about every album and little, tracks I haven't done before or live didn't play very often. And, of course, I get to all the songs that people would be angry if I didn't play, generally. I Alone, Lightning Crashes, and those stuff.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the show. So could you tell me how faith has played into your music career way back when you were live, and now how that all kind of meshes in?
Well, it's always been a part of my life in general, and then just happened to be a singer too. So it's a beautiful thing because I get to express it in a way that is really powerful to me and to the fans. And it's definitely morphed, and I've grown and gone down many roads with it. In particular, but the basic gist of my lyrical thrust has always been positive, and a general feeling that we're one, and what we have in common is a lot stronger than what seems to be different about us all. And that's a pretty big generalization, but that's basically the feel of the music. I mean, it's the politics of the soul. It's like going in there and asking the big questions, and then just singing about where you're at with it, and I've found that I've been able to have this kind of ongoing conversation with this fan base for over 20 years now, because they're really interested in it.
So my final question for you, what's on the bucket list for Ed Kowalczyk, or Kowalczyk?
Kowalczyk, yeah. Well, gosh, I just, had one, I checked one off a couple weeks ago. I sang with Blind Boys of Alabama in Kentucky, which was incredible. I did not expect to do that, and got an email. It's like, hey, we're going to do this radio show together, and they want to do a collaboration with you. And kind of flipped out. So that I have to re-examine the bucket list now because I've been checking them off.
You might need to
But
add some
I
stuff.
know. Well, working with Peter Gabriel would still be definitely on there. I mean, I had Peter Buck of REM on this album, so the bucket list needs. I got to start working on new ones because they're happening.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.